and welcome back to another episode of Priceless Convos. Today, I have Miss Chynika Wright. She is a best-selling author, also an elementary school teacher, and the author of the book My Unique Name. Chynika wrote the book based on her own experiences growing up and having a unique name. The book is filled on bookshelves, worldwide libraries, schools, and so much more. She is an avid traveler, having traveled to over 35 countries, and I'm sure it could be more. And her motto is to simply live your best life. So, welcome, Chynika. How
Thank
are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for inviting me. This is so awesome.
Good, good, good. I feel like we are catching up for
Yeah,
sure.
literally.
So for those of you guys watching, Chynika is like one of my OG clients. When I just started publishing books, you came in that beginning phase, and I've watched you taking your book from you from nothing to like something. Like I've seen your books gone so many places, and I'm so proud of you. So I was like, yeah, we
Oh,
gotta get her on here.
thank
Um,
you.
so I'll let you intro yourself, and I guess let's start with tell us about the book.
All right. So yes, my name is Chynika Wright. I wrote the book My Unique Name 2 years ago now. Actually, like to the date, I think, which is actually crazy. Yeah, because it happened mid-May.
Mm.
Yeah, I wrote the book based off of my own personal experiences. Obviously, my name is very unique. It's not spelled phonetically. It's caused me a lot of struggles, especially growing up, being in school, people not pronouncing it properly. So as a teacher, I see that firsthand, the effect that it has on students. So I've
Mm.
always lived my like career being very intentional with saying, my students' names properly. But then I can see coworkers and other students who might not get the same level of respect. And so during the pandemic, I honestly just sat there and started writing this book. And I really wrote it so that one day I could have it in my classroom and be like, hey guys, your teacher wrote this.
Mm.
Or for my future kids to be like, hey, mommy wrote this. But I
Yeah,
had no idea where it would go. And it's been like such an incredible journey, like a highlight of my life.
that is good. What do the kids in this, your students think about the book?
Oh my God, they've been so supportive. Like the class that I had the year it came out, like immediately, like the day it was out, like they all bought a copy. That was when we were doing virtual learning because again during the
Mhm.
pandemic. So they all like showed the book to me virtually, and every year now I read it. It's like it takes place on the first day of school, so it's a great book to read for the first day of school. So I've since then and forevermore, I'll start off every year reading my book on the first day of school, and then we get to do our name tags and we get to talk about where our names came from and the importance of our names and like why we have the name we have, or maybe you have a nickname and you want to use that instead. So it opens up such really good conversations. But yeah, they've been so honestly, kids are the best supporters.
I didn't even know you were doing all that. That is so nice. That
Yeah,
is so
and a
nice.
lot of colleagues also use the book on the first day of school. A lot of colleagues have shared with me their own personal like name tag activities because the name tag is a very significant part of the book,
Mm.
and part of the story. It's just been yeah, it's been amazing.
I love that. I love that. Do you find that the students are like trying to pronounce each other's
Oh my
name
gosh.
correctly just to
One
make sure?
hundred, 100%, and you start that right off the bat by reading the book. And like there have been so many kids who are like, well, now that you said the proper name, the proper way to say your name, people have been saying my name wrong this whole time, and they'll be like, it's actually pronounced like this. And I'm like, well, we're gonna call you by the name that you were born with, or I don't know. It just opens up it opens up really deep and significant conversations, especially
Mhm.
with children. And a lot of kids have reached out to me and said that they feel like they were a bit embarrassed by their name, but now they feel so proud of their name, and that really is like the whole goal of the book.
Wow. I didn't know you were doing all that. I thought there you was just like selling books and that's it. And it's a whole routine within your school. I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. Did you find that like prior to bringing the book into the classroom, that students would like get bullied for their name or how it's pronounced or like made fun of or anything like that?
Of course, because that's exactly what happened to me in the story, you
Mhm.
know? Like people would make up a nickname for me because they thought that Shanika was too hard to pronounce, or they would mispronounce my name and then I'd correct it and they'd still mispronounce my name. So yeah, a lot of students also shared, you know, how people have made fun of their name or how they also share in the, you know, experience of someone saying, you know what, I'm just gonna call you this. Or teachers have like, you know, shared with me how I guess inadvertently, they were telling kids like, "Okay, your name is too hard to say." Or like before taking attendance, they'd be like, "Okay, I'm gonna ruin your name, but is blank here?" And they're just like, "This book taught me like I should not be doing that. It puts so much pressure on the kid." And yeah, so for bullying, unfortunately, was you know a part of my experience with having such a unique name.
Mhm.
But you know, in the story, there's a happy ending. So
Yeah,
hopefully many other kids have a happy ending as well.
yeah. When How do the kids feel when they discuss like the meanings of each other's names?
It varies. I mean, like a lot of kids who have super unique names, they like to share where they got them from. And some of these stories are absolutely beautiful. A lot of kids who have names that are a combination of their parents' names, or you know, a lot of kids share you know, they're named after someone in their family.
Mm.
It really like you don't really talk about it's not a common conversation that you have with kids or kids have with each other about their names. You just this is my name and that's it. And so it's really nice to see kids explain, you know, such a huge part of their identity to one another. Which is yeah, it's incredible.
I like that. I like that. I did not know you were doing all of that. That is the first. Um, I've been telling folks like every time I do these interviews, it's like no prepping. I literally just jump in and because I really want to have these organic conversations.
Right.
So the fact that you have said that now it makes me think like, man, what teachers do I know that needs to start implementing the very same structure that I can share this book with? Um,
Yes.
I never thought about that. I mean, because
Yeah,
my name was definitely mispronounced.
right.
People
Of
automatically
course.
just call me CJ or Sidjae or just all kind
Mhm.
of crazy stuff, and I did just accept it. Um,
Yes.
and thinking about it, even now, sometimes I will still accept it. Um, and it's funny because another person that I interviewed recently, I've been mispronouncing their name since I met them, and she didn't even
Mhm.
tell me
It's
that I was
yeah.
mispronouncing it. But now you're making me want to intentionally make sure I ask people, hey,
Ask
how do you
them,
pronounce your
yes. Exactly, and
how
that's one of the themes too, like, I always tell people, you know, say their name and then just say, "Did I say your name correctly?" And then that way they can just be like, "Actually, it's pronounced like this," or "Yes, you did say it properly." I struggled with it too, like, even in, like, adulthood, especially
Mhm.
going to Starbucks, oh my gosh, and I have to give my name, like, I would just give, like, a different name or a nickname,
Me
and
too.
then after writing this book, I'm like, "I can't do that," like, I literally am telling people to be proud of their name, and I'm proud of my name, so I don't need
Mhm.
to make it easier for anyone else, like, this is who I am, you know? So, yeah, just correct them every time.
I just always write CJ or J or Sid,
Mhm.
something of that combination on the Starbucks cup. So you're right. I'm gonna start
You know,
writing.
you just say it, you tell them your name, that's who you are.
Yeah. Oh my god, I didn't even know you were doing all that. Okay. So since the book has come out, well, is it in other schools? Have you worked with other schools besides your schools to get it into? How
Yes,
many
it's
schools?
it honestly, I don't even know, like, it's like, there's especially when the pandemic hit and we were, all teaching virtually, I did a lot of virtual book readings from school boards, like, all around my province,
Mhm.
um, and it's in a lot of schools, which I'm
That
so proud of, and they share with me, a lot of teachers will just take a picture of their bookshelves or of the book, and yeah, schools that I've not even, like, heard of, so, yeah, I don't know have a specific number, but it's very, like,
It's making
heartwarming
an
to know
impact.
that it's all over my province and
Yeah.
like other provinces and in the States. Like I'm Canadian for those that don't know. So
Mm.
like, you know, it's very popular in Canada and I can see like sales in the States and stuff. And I'm just hoping that, you know, I really want it to be like a staple first day of school book because like
Books.
that's exactly what like the premise of the book is, right? It takes place on the
Mhm.
first day. So yeah, if you're a teacher and you need a good book for the first day of school, My Unique Name, gonna get some
Yes,
good
and we have
conversations
enough
started.
time to get those books in because we're in summer, well, going into summer, so we definitely have time. But
Exactly.
I like that. I like that. Okay, and then so I know that you've also gotten the book into libraries and retailers, physical retailers, and I'm always amazed by the physical retailers placements as self-published authors because I know it takes a different amount of work. So,
Hmm.
would you mind sharing what retailers did you get it into?
So as soon as the book came out, it ended up going on to like online Walmart in the States and then like Barnes and Noble and then another store in the UK, and I totally forgot the name of the store, so I don't want to even say it incorrectly. Weatherspoons, I think, and then
Waterstones, that's it.
Waterstone. Oh
Oh,
my
I
god,
was trying to
sorry,
remember for you. That's it. Waterstones.
not Weatherspoons. Oh my god, but a couple months after the book came out, I was on a couple of news broadcasts,
Mhm.
and a buyer for Winners, Marshalls, and HomeSense reached out to me, and couldn't believe it, and that's how I got my book into those stores nationwide. And then just this week, actually, so this whole interview, like conversation, is perfect timing
Mhm.
because I just got it into Indigo, like Chapters Indigo,
Mhm.
which I'm not sure if is American. Do you guys have Indigo in the States?
No, we don't have indigo,
No.
but
Okay,
sure
so
we have yeah.
it's like a very very large and popular
Mhm.
bookstore. So yeah, it's there now. Um, and those are the top. It's also in like smaller libraries like in my city,
Mhm.
or sorry, bookstores in my city, but those are the top. Like, so my actual number one goal was to get it into um Indigo, Chapters Indigo, and it's there now. So yeah, that I reached out to Indigo just to kind of
Mhm.
see, and it was so easy. The moment I reached out, they were just like, yes, we want this book, and it was just like super super fast, and it happened. So I'm just so grateful.
I love it. So I know that Winners and Marshalls is basically in Canada. When I looked it up, it reminded me of our home goods Marshalls.
Right.
So for the
Or yeah.
Americans, for the US folks watching it, that's basically what it is. Our
Hmm.
home goods, they have Winners and Marshalls, and the Indigo, I'm not sure what's the store for it for the US, but I'm almost certain there's a sister store to it. So I don't know. But anyways,
Yeah.
okay, I'm happy for you about
Thank
that for
you.
sure. So you said two things. One is that you did a news broadcast, a news interview, and they reached out. So you showed up. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing is that they don't show up. You publish the
Hmm.
book and then they just leave it alone. Like,
No.
you gotta do the PR. And you
Yeah.
do a lot of PR stuff.
Oh, really? Okay, great. Because I'm
Yeah,
always like, am I doing enough? But yeah, for sure, you got to put in the work. Otherwise, you and your mama are gonna know about it, and that's it. So
exactly. Because it's like, look how did you reach out to get that news interview as well too?
no, I did not. Um, my uh, my Twitter is like a teacher Twitter, and like I posted it on there and got a
Mhm.
lot of feedback from all over. And then one of the news broadcasts in Canada reached out to me, and then after I was on their show, two other shows reached out to me. So I never reached out to like any news broadcasters. I don't even know the first place to begin, but it's a great place to start. And yeah, it's kind of just like snowballed after the
Yeah,
first one. So
I
yeah,
like
Twitter
that.
for me was really, really huge in like getting the word out. And then I made like an Instagram page and um yeah, like teachers are worldwide, you know? So it's like
Mhm.
when I reached out to some teachers, they reached out to their teacher friends and they reached out to their teacher friends and then it
Mhm.
works that way. So.
Yeah, because it's all about building a network. Because, okay, so how I analyze it in my head is basically that you leverage social media,
Hmm.
um, by knowing that clearly you have to show up on social media, you have to post the book, you have to share the content from the book, and
Hmm.
then that equaled into a news interview that
Right.
led to not only just several other interviews, but book placements as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And it still goes back to, you got to show up with your book,
You
show up
have
somewhere with
to.
your book, put the book somewhere.
Yeah, and reach out to some people. I did reach out to like influencers as well, and just kind of, especially people in my like in that like I guess moms or
Mhm.
other teachers, and once they shared, then you know the public, like the number of people that see it is so much more greater
Yeah.
than any followers that I have. So it really helps in that sense too. But
Mhm.
I don't know exactly how the news broadcast reached out to me. I'm assuming it was from Twitter, but it
Yeah.
could have been anywhere.
Because they look like, people don't know, like they do look, news
Hmm.
broadcasters do look for stories to
Yeah,
I mean, there's platforms like Haro, and there's another one as well, Help a Reporter Out, and there's another platform as well. If I remember it, I'll share it for you guys in the description. But it's like, if you are showing up with the book, because you were honestly, like, when you came out with the book, and I just told you basic instructions, you literally followed everything, and then you just knew, okay, I'm gonna show up with this book, and
hmm,
showing up on social media worked.
it
Um,
really did.
yeah, because your network, shared
Yeah,
it. And I think now, in the day and age that we're in, with social media, a lot of folks are really supportive. So
hmm,
if, like, someone really likes something, those folks will start tagging who it is, or they'll send
exactly,
it out to the people. But it starts with showing up with your book,
for sure.
even as a self-published author. But I liked how you really defied the odds and got your in-store placements as a self-published author, because, like, I don't think that people believe or support or understand that, yes, you can still get these wins for sure.
Hmm. I
um
didn't even think that until it happened. So it's
uh-huh.
true, but there is a lot of work involved and a lot of time and effort, but
Mhm.
it all works out in the end, like it all works out.
Amazing. And when it comes to, like, because I feel like somebody may ask, like, negotiating your deals, you did that yourself, as far as in negotiating your rates and
Yeah,
payments and all of that for the stores and all that good stuff.
right. And I think it's important to know too, like it's I'm not doing it for like the money. I'm not like swimming in
Mhm.
cash because of this book. I'm doing it because I genuinely want my book to just be out there. And
Mhm.
that's the mentality that will put it out there. So if you're going to negotiate and your negotiations maybe are too much in your favor, but to the point where it gets turned down, like you got to focus on like, why did you write this book? Hopefully it was for
Yeah.
people to read and enjoy, because that is what's going to push you to just be very open and honest, and then it would really work out for you in the end, because
Yeah.
it's been very, very amazing.
And I think once individuals see that, your passion behind it,
Yeah,
that they're so willing to support, and folks can tell.
yeah,
Folks
for
can
sure.
tell. Yeah. So there's like a very thin line for folks wanting to walk. Okay, so then, you recently translated your book to French.
Yeah.
How was
I
that?
did. Yeah, it's a huge thing in Canada. It's our second language, and there are a lot of French school boards. And someone actually reached out to me a year ago and was like, "Is your book in French?" Like, I teach at a French school, and I was like, "No." Like, and then she was like, "I can translate it for you," and I was like, "What?" And so she did, and she's so kind. Her name's Claudine, and like she really helped me out. So now it's out in French, which is great because then I could reach out to French school boards and be like, "Hey, like this book
Mhm.
is now available in French," and yeah, it's just I was not expecting that at all, but people had reached out to me and said that they would love to have it in French, and we made it happen. So
I like that, because then it also opens up another group of individuals
Exactly.
for another conversation about their names and how to pronounce it and the meanings behind it, so the kids are getting a chance to learn. So I love that. I love that. We need. I'm probably need it in Spanish too. Hopefully, somebody from that community reaches out and say, "Hey, we can translate it."
For
But I
sure.
love that because with I think the U.S. and Canada is dealing with a lot of individuals migrating um,
Right.
from different countries into Canada and the U.S. So we're really having a melting pot, diverse
Oh, for
people,
sure.
and these kids that's also migrating with their parents or aunts, uncles, etc. They're going to be in schools, and the teachers and the fellow students, we should understand how to pronounce their names and
Of
things
course.
like that. So who knows? Maybe so we have English, French, maybe Spanish next.
Yes.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it. It's
Yeah.
amazing. And so do you have any plans to write another book or
This is like the number one question.
Mhm,
Oh, I get this all the time. Honestly, I would love to one day.
mhm,
There's so much going on in my life right now that it's not feasible. Mind you, I wrote this during the pandemic, right? We had so much time on our hands and our creative juices were flowing. But no, like I'd love to. I'd love to write another one. It's just probably not
when the
for a
time has
little while. I'm still on such a high with this book,
it is.
like I'm still on such a high. Things still keep happening with this one. But yeah, eventually, like for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I like that. So, okay, so I know that individuals can find you on the Right Stuff channel on Instagram, TikTok, and
Yeah, Instagram and TikTok is the Right Stuff channel, and then I also have another page called Shanika's World. That's also like a public. It was originally for my travel, but it's become like travel and book stuff too.
Mhm.
But yeah, you can also find me there too, and on Twitter, at it's this right, um, on Twitter
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
I like that. Like that, like that, like that. Okay. And then anything else you would like to share for aspiring authors who want to really create a book that is substantial, I would say the word is, that can last for 2 years and is still doing very well.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, your ideas are valid. Whatever you choose to write about, make it come from the heart and just make it relatable. I think that's what's really key. And honestly, reach out to Dr. Sidjae because I swear, like working with you has been, and I've like so many people have reached out to me, was like, how did you do it? And I always just like share your profile because
You.
you it was so easy to work with you and like you really listen and your team like the illustrations of this book are like literally they make the book and I struggled really like I struggled with wanting the vision of what I had to come alive and you really listened to me and found like just the right team and it just it was I didn't have to I just gave you everything and then you did it all and it was so helpful. So you got to find, you know, the right publisher right here in front of me. And also just somebody who and you root for me and you support me and like I don't know. I just feel like you have to have something that's relatable, be passionate about it, and have like an incredible team behind you. That's really what worked for me, and I'm sure so many other people who have worked under your wing. So, thank you.
You are welcome. You're definitely welcome. Okay, guys. So I will be sharing the link, all of the good stuff for the book, how you guys can purchase it, how you guys can reach out to Shanika to purchase copies of the book for your schools, teachers. I'm gonna make sure we share this with the teachers to get this created and implemented for that first day of school experience for the kids. Or who knows, invite Shanika out to do a reading as well. It would be amazing. But thank you so much. I am so proud of you for every single thing you have done with your book so far. Every time I see you doing things, it's really heartwarming to like see you still pushing your book. So
Thank
I
you.
am so proud of you. You have no clue. So,
Aw.
all right, guys. Well, that's it for Priceless Convos. I will see y'all soon in the next episode. Bye, y'all.